Now I know what you're thinking, he's either a short man or that's a very tall Mini. Well, the truth is a bit of both, but the new Mini Paceman is taller, longer and wider than the standard car. A bit less mini, in other words. Depending on how you look at it, the Paceman is either a three-door version of the Mini Countryman, or it's a mini hatchback with a dose of SUV attitude. It taps into the trend for small 4x4 style cars like the Nissan Juke and Vauxhall Mocha. But with prices from £19,000, it's pricier than either. So is there a point to the Paceman? Despite its beefed up off-roady styling, most Pacemans, or should that be Pacemen, will drive through the front wheels only. If you want four-wheel drive, you'll have to stump up an extra £1,300. This is marketed as a sporty car, so the range skips the entry-level Mini 1 grade and starts with the Cooper. Above that is the Cooper S, the car I'm driving today, which develops 181 brake horsepower. It's not as quick as a hot hatch like a Golf GTI, but it's fast enough to be fun, and it sounds good too. If you want more power, there's also a John Cooper Works version with a Golf GTI rivaling 218 brake horsepower. Or, for better fuel economy, a pair of diesels, the Cooper D and SD. Mini says the Cooper S returns 46 miles per gallon. That's about 3 miles per gallon less than the equivalent Mini hatchback. We're looking forward to putting the Paceman through our more realistic fuel economy tests. Click the link below to see tested figures for the rest of the Mini range. Inside, much of this is carried over from the Countryman, and like the Paceman itself, it's likely to divide opinion. The huge central speedometer dominates the dashboard and contains the sat-nav screen if fitted. However, your speed is hard to read, so you end up relying on the digital display in front of the wheel. The retro toggle switches are also small and awkwardly placed. It's definitely a case of form over function. Like all Minis, there are hundreds of different combinations of paint colours, wheels, graphics and interior trim options, so you can personalise the car to suit your own taste. Getting into the back is much easier than in the three-door Mini, thanks to these wide opening doors. But once you're back here, you'll find there are just two individual rear seats. There's enough space for a tall child or a short man, and you can clip accessories like this sunglasses case onto the central rail here. But let's not kid ourselves, this is a practical car. If you've got a family, Mini's saying, buy a Countryman instead. In the boot, Mini claims 330 litres of space, about the same as a Ford Focus. But the big rear lights cut into the opening and the seats don't fold completely flat, so it's not especially practical. Standard rear parking sensors make it easy to park though. We measure boot space in our lab, so click the link below to see how the bigger Mini Countryman compares to all its rivals. Minis have always been fun to drive, whether you're talking about the 1959 original or the BMW remake. The Paceman does roll a bit more in the corners than a regular Mini, as you'd expect, but it still feels agile and responsive. The trade-off is a firm ride and oversensitive steering that, along with the increased wind noise, make the Paceman tiring to drive on longer journeys. A sport button also sharpens up the steering so the car darts around like an overexcited puppy. It's fun in small bursts, but, like said puppy, you wouldn't necessarily want to live with it. So what is the point of the Mini Paceman? It's barely more practical than the Mini hatchback, while being slower, less efficient and less fun to drive. Oh, and it's more expensive too. Well, if you have to ask, this probably isn't the car for you. Like that wacky interior, it's a style statement. Think of it as a mini Range Rover Evoque, and it starts to make a bit more sense. This tapering roofline does have more than a hint of Evoque about it after all. To me though, the Mini Paceman feels like the answer to a question nobody asked. If you disagree, visit the Which Car website for detailed Mini reliability and owner satisfaction data. Or, depending on your budget, click the links below to read our Nissan Juke and Range Rover Evoque full reviews.